everyone, welcome to Hope for Survival YouTube. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to all the new subscribers. This video is titled Hurricane Helene Update 10, a new mission. So if you watched Hurricane Helene Update number 9 at the end of it, and it was a bit long of a video, but if you watch till the end, I stated in there when I posted number 10, I would explain the new mission. So briefly, before I get into the videos, I was on my way home from Poga, Elk Mills, Tennessee, on early Monday morning, and I had to stop 30 to 45 minutes outside of Poga, on the other side of the mountain. I had to stop in a community called Hampton, Tennessee, and I was meeting up with my little sister, Dr. Amanda Cartwright, to drop off a generator for her community. And while I was waiting on Amanda to arrive at our point to meet up, Miss Lucy, my wife, was sending me messages not to leave Hampton, that I needed to follow up on some videos that she had sent to me regarding Hampton. So after a brief meeting with Amanda, I went on the journey to go to the flooded area in Hampton, which was 2 minutes from where I was parked at a Shell station. Anyway, and one thing led to another. I found the person that Miss Lucy sent me the video on. I found that person, and there had been another person that we had been trying to find information on in Hampton for a couple weeks since the flood happened, and we were just not successful. No one knew who we were talking about. But anyway, I found the destination that Miss Lucy had passed me the info on, and I met the individual that the video was about, and he directed me to talk to his neighbor Ed, who I spent a couple hours with, chatting and learning about him and what he went through in the flood. And Ed was kind enough to let me video the inside of his home, and he lost about 85% of his property. And someone asked me afterwards, was I happy to get home after a month, 5 weeks of working in the disaster zone. And I said yes, but the mission's not over yet. There's still more people in Tennessee and North Carolina, at least, possibly Virginia, that need help. And they need it real soon before the cold winter arrives. And there's so many people who are still out on the ground, and there's lots of groups who are working to help these people. There's just so many of them. And this is kind of like it was when I got the call or request to go help in Poga, spending time with Ed and hearing his story and seeing his needs. It weighs on your heart, but also there are times in this journey where you feel the Lord tugging at you and letting you know that this is where you're supposed to be, and that you're wanting to help this individual. So over some thought and I guess personal prayer, and some conversation with others and reaching out to some contacts, to possibly take on Ed's um, um, Ed's repairs, kind of like sponsoring a family, and that's the choice that I have made, and I'm again asking some other sponsors to help in this journey to help Ed. And there's a lot of organizations who are taking a family at a time and sponsoring them to try to get them back in their homes as soon as possible. So, so let's get on. I want to let you see Hampton, kind of see what's going on there, and see what Ed went through, and meet Ed. Ed was kind enough to come on camera with me for a few minutes, and I'll be back at the end to tell you what we're working to do. So driving out of Poga, Tennessee this morning, heading out, there was another community just around the mountain called Hampton, Tennessee, that was also devastated, and I had a generator and some supplies that I was bringing to this area, dropping off to a POC here for distribution, Dr. Amanda Cartwright, who I've referenced previously, and been a guest to Hope for Survival, my little sister Amanda. And I wanted to share some of the footage. This is the high school that was flooded out, and I talked to the principal on the phone on Saturday about the damage to the high school and the community, and some of their needs as well. So Hope for Survival will be, in addition to the generator and things distributed today, we'll be making some further effort to push needed supplies and monetary donations to this community to help out as well. The school is closed. I don't know a decision yet if the school is going to have to be replaced or if they're going to be able to dig all the mud out. The river that flows through here is between here and the 4-lane. That's just on the other side of the football stadium. And as with many of the communities, the flooding just wreaked absolute havoc. All these homes that I'm getting ready to pass were flooded out. I'm sure if it's like with other areas, people just don't want to leave their properties. You know, they have mold in them already, and they just simply don't want to leave. And that's understandable to a point, but the mold becomes a serious health risk. You see a gentleman repairing a roof, part of a home that was lost on the end, flooded out. And as I said in a previous update, from afar, you see all the floods and the damage, and you see all the people. And these people are victims of the damage caused. But they all have names. They're all human beings. You know, they all have personalities, and now they've had this devastation brought upon them, and they're just trying to find a way to recover and survive to the best that they can. And in many cases, you can see here a new fence going up, lumber laying around for repairs on the inside. But in many cases, these folks have limited income. So they either have to dip into savings and drain it, or their retirements and drain them. And in many cases, they don't have that. And the only way they can recover is through donations made from the outside people, like many of you. That have been so generous and kind to make donations to help them get back on their feet.
This is my dadgone living room right here. My stuff. That's out my front door. I'm just stuck in here. Come back and I'll give you the tour.
So here I am on Spring Street in Hampton, Tennessee. And the home you see in front of me with all the Lowe's symbols on it, this is Jerry's house. And Jerry's home, author Courtney, I can't remember her last name anyway, their church has taken on rebuilding this home for Jerry. And we're going to do a tour of it before long. But right next door is Jerry's neighbor Ed. And you can see on this street, these people have basically lost everything. So, you know, the first phase was food, water, shelter, and clothing, essentials. And now the hard part starts, and that is the rebuild. And these people are doing the best that they can. Many of them can't even sleep in their own homes. The homes are getting demolished, but they need help. I mean, they're basically having to replace everything. And when I say door handles, light fixtures, the whole package. And sadly, they're not getting a lot of help outside of you and others who have so kindly donated monetary, skilled labor, to come in and help these brothers and sisters to try to get back to some normalcy in life. You know, I often see this stuff and I think, what if it were me? You know, they're only strangers for 5 minutes until you get a handshake, and then they're your brother and sister. So Ed has been so kind to invite me over, and we got to get Ed some help. Which way you want to go? By the way, this is Ed.
Hey.
And it was like the home I showed you in Poggy. You know, it's the ripping out and cleaning out. This was his home.
beautiful walls. And now they're trying to dry everything out. As you can see, this brother has lost everything. Everything has to pretty much be replaced. So I'm assuming that the flood water was up to just below?
It was about a foot.
Foot up, which is bad enough. So it's gutted. Yep. So we need monetary resources and equally skilled labor, because you're seeing one home of a street that's full of homes that needs help. I was through here, this town, Hampton, I was through here just a couple days after the flood. I was headed up to on the mountain to teach a preparedness class for a community, and I passed through here and I noticed the street from the highway, which is 2 rock throws from where I'm standing right now. Brother, don't give up, man. We're gonna get you help. This is the kitchen, and you can look out the window here, and the floodwaters came from this direction. Yeah. Here, we'll go out now. You're good. Thank you, sir. Yeah. And it's still drying up. So I'm here in Hampton, again, Tennessee, and I'm with my new brother, Ed. We were strangers 15, 20 minutes ago, and the more we talk, the more like-minded we are, if you know what I'm saying. And Ed was kind enough to walk me through and kind of explain how things happen, and I paid him a bag of Tootsie Rolls if he would if he would take a few minutes and share his story with you of how it was when the water started rising up to the point that it was in his home. Ed?
About 11:15, I'd worked graveyard the night prior, and I was asleep, as was my wife off work, and my granddaughter out of school. We was all here asleep when I got a phone call and asked if I was okay. It was actually my boss from work. She said the river had broke the banks above us, and when I got up and looked out the window, there was probably 3 to 4 inches of water coming down my street. I immediately got my wife and my granddaughter up and got them to leave the house. And as I seen them go out of sight, I looked over, and my neighbor, which is disabled, was looking out his front door. So I immediately went over to him to check on him, and I explained it was too late to get him out, and I told him to stay indoors and ride this out. And just in that length of time, probably 5 minutes, 6, 7 minutes tops, I was chest deep in water. So I couldn't leave. I couldn't evacuate, the risks involved. So I stayed here the entire night until the water started to recede. Lost probably 85% of everything I got, my furniture, all my granddaughter's stuff, and I sit down at the table with water in my house, water running through my house, and I sat down and prayed to God that He would take care of me.
He will.
He sure did, and He took care of me and got me through this. After the water started receding, I was able to get out.
And where did you sleep that
Slept
night?
on actually on my dining room table. My bed had done soaked up so much water and stuff I couldn't sleep on it, so I got a sleeping bag and slept on my table. My granddaughter called me about every 10 minutes. She told me, she said, "Papa, I love you." She said, "I'm sorry if I've ever been mean to you." And she made me come out here and wade the garage and get a life vest and put on and send her a picture of it so she would know that I had it on. So, but the good Lord got us through this, kept my family safe, and I praise Him for that.
Amen.
And, but it's going to be a big time rebuilding. I mean, I'm not as bad as a lot of people were in this disaster, but like I said, the good Lord did take care of me.
Well, the good thing is there's caring and loving, godly-minded people all around.
Yes, they are.
That in whether it's through prayer, of delivery, of resources, skilled workers, monetary donations to help buy the things needed, it'll come together. Some days I'm sure it doesn't seem like it, but in the last 30 days, it's every day there's reminders of God things
Yes, sir.
that are occurring,
Mm-hmm.
and they will here too. So, Ed, thanks much, man.
Thank you.
And much appreciated.
Had his door open, he can't even hardly walk.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I had to go say something because I couldn't get over it if something
Right.
happened to him. He's been a good neighbor.
Oh, you're doing your good deed, man. It's amazing. It's amazing when these things happen,
You know,
how everything else is dropped and people come together.
he had a stroke maybe about a year and a half ago, and over the last several years, I've mowed his yard for him. You know, and he's tried to pay me, and I won't take it.
Yeah.
But now he is a master apple butter maker
Really?
and a master. He makes kraut. I'm telling you, kraut that'll melt in your mouth. So he said, "How about some kraut and apple butter?" I said, "You got it, buddy."
Talking my language.
You got it.
That's it. I'd rather have canned food than drop $1 in the bank account. I can't eat money.
But he, like I said, he always hosted. He had a garage back here, a big 2-bay garage, and he always hosted apple butter making. People would come here
Really?
from everywhere, yeah. And actually, he's from Pope, and he would host it, and they would sit back there and peel apples and cook and go on with you know, that's what he enjoyed doing. And also enjoyed bluegrass. They would have bluegrass there, and it's like I said, though, you can't beat the neighbor he's been to me over the years.
How old is he?
He is 85.
85?
Yeah.
That's a long life.
Yeah. And he's worked up to about 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's, you know, he's super carpenter, and he's an electrician, and
Multi-skilled. So this was the home of a mother, father, and 4 children that lost their home and lost both vehicles. And you can barely see the cinder block foundation underneath all the rubble. But this is just another of many homes on one street that are just devastated. Homes can be replaced, but the impact it has on how you're going to go forward, how you're going to pay for it, but even children, they lost everything as well. So, tough time, but walking down the street and talking to folks, I keep hearing this word God a lot. So that's very uplifting, and the faith is strong, and the community commitment is strong as well. They just need help.
Okay, so you got to meet Ed and some of his surroundings, and here's the effort that I'm putting forth for Hope for Survival. It's kind of three-pronged. The first effort from the Hope for Survival side, for anyone that wants to help and support. If you have desire or interest to buy a Lowe's card, and you can choose the amount you want to put on that card. The first one's already purchased for $1,000, and we have a second $1,000 sponsor coming in. So in 48 hours, we're already at $2,000 raised to help offset whether it's sheetrock, insulation, floors, appliances, however it will come together. So the first phase is to raise funds through Lowe's gift cards to help buy the materials needed for the repairs. If you have an interest and you would like to buy a Lowe's card to donate, send me an email at preparedness101@protonmail.com. That's preparedness, preparedness 101@protonmail.com. In the subject line, put Lowe's gift card, and you can reach out and I will tell you where you can send your gift card. The second part is this project is, like I said earlier, I'm reaching out to some awesome individuals who have been supporting the flooded areas since the beginning of this, that I met in Poga. They're from the Mountain City area, Mountain City, Tennessee, and I reached out to them by phone. A contractor was at Ed's house earlier today doing an assessment, and we'll see how that goes forward. And the third part of this is working to get some contractors that have carpentry experience to volunteer to go help do repairs at Ed's home. And if you have any interest in these items, you can email me again at preparedness101@protonmail.com. And if you are a person who wants to go do carpentry repairs, you're pretty much going to probably have to be self-sufficient, self-sustaining. In the area, there's electricity in the home. So you would pretty much probably have to sleep on a cot or something like that. The nearest city where there's lodging would be Johnson City, which is probably about an hour away, 45 minutes away maybe. But since the beginning of this disaster, most of the hotels have been booked up for over a month now, and the cost isn't real cheap. So that's why I'm hoping to get contractor volunteers to volunteer to come over from the Mountain City area, and they're 30 minutes and they can drive back and forth. But anyway, so this is the new mission. It's not as large as the Poga mission. This one's focused more in sponsoring a family and trying to get them, Ed and his wife and his granddaughter, back into their home as soon as possible to normalize and give them some sustainment in their life. Earlier, I mentioned there had been a person that we had been trying to track down for a few weeks, and that person was mentioned in one of the videos, and that was the lady, and I said previously her husband and 4 children. It's her fiance, I learned today, that lost their home and 2 vehicles, and they lived right across the street from Ed, and it was Ed who pointed out that knew the story of the person. So it's kind of funny, not haha funny, but kind of funny how through this journey to Spring Street, Hampton, Tennessee, how I met Jerry, and Jerry's home is being rebuilt through 3 church sponsors that put up like $100,000, and a Christian author out of Johnson City, Courtney something, has kind of been doing videos on it, promoting. So there's a lot of focus and publicity of people watching this rebuild. And then I met Ed through Jerry. Jerry asked me to go look at Ed's house and help him, and then to find the young lady with the 4 children who lost everything. And they were all within probably 30 yards of each other, all right there. And I was parked there setting, and I was seeing all of it, and had my wife not sent me the video while I was sitting in the Shell parking lot waiting on my friend Amanda, I was 2 minutes from this area, and I would have driven off and headed back home, and would have totally missed the opportunity to hear their story and feel the need to help them. So if you can help, again, you can email me. I'll tell you where to send the Lowe's gift card. I have 1,000 in hand, 1,000 on this card. I have another 1,000 that's in the mail, and depending how much we get to do the basics of the sheetrock and insulation and the floors and electrical and so forth, we might be able to pull them into a basket and buy the appliances. I don't know yet. It's early in the game. So anyway, give it some thought and pray over it. And if you can help, again, this is a totally different mission. Being Hope for Survival is undertaking here, and we'll do our best to deliver on it. So if you like this video, please hit like. If you have any comments, please leave them below, or if you don't want to leave them, you can email me again with your comments, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, please. And most of all, remember to be blessed and count your blessings, and most importantly, don't forget to give thanks. Have a blessed weekend. Bravo Echo out.